Eric Bowman's with us with sports. Dogs coming off a big win over the weekend against Vanderbilt. What's new with the Hoopsters, Eric?
Well, thanks, Caleb. Well, men's basketball is back in action tomorrow night as the Bulldogs hit the road to play Auburn. We caught up with Coach Fox today as he and his players look to get their first road win this season.
It's really going to be a battle of styles. Who's going to have to match up or adjust to the other team, and hopefully we can win that battle because they do spread you out and shoot the three and penetrate with the best of them.
Just how hard we played. We competed for 40 minutes. Everybody just really came in and did a great job. Played a sound job, and if we can just carry over that focus and that hunger to win, I think it'll bring us good results.
Women's golf finished in 4th place at the Lady Puerto Rico Classic earlier today. They were led by Marta Silva Zamora, who finished 2nd, and Emily Berger, who finished 4th. The Bulldogs scored a 301 to round out the tournament. This was their highest tally of the 54 event, as they dropped 2 spots on the leaderboard. Women's golf returns to action on March 1st when they compete in the Kinderloo Forest Challenge in Valdosta, Georgia. Former Bulldog and current ESPN analyst Matt Stinchcomb will be back in Athens tomorrow morning. Bulldog Illustrated will be hosting the first Bulldog Bites at 7:30 a.m. at the Melting Point. 960 The Ref will be broadcasting as Stinchcomb tells of his days as a dog and his sports opinion. For tickets, contact the Melting Point at 706-254-6909 or meltingpointathens.com. October 9th can't get here any quicker as the Georgia-Tennessee rivalry continues to heat up. Bulldog safety Bakari Rambo is adding some fuel to the fire as he is upset UGA lost some recruits on signing day. One in particular is Derrick Rogers. Rambo and Rogers have been in a social media war after Rogers decommitted from UGA last week. The battle began on Facebook and some notable quotes of Rogers saying, "Don't worry about me. Last time I checked, a big hit equals you getting knocked out." Rambo then responded with, "I compete against the best receiver in the nation every day at practice. Why should I worry about that guy?" Sports Information Director Claude Felton said no action has been enforced on Rambo, but he did re-stress the dangers of social media and the ramifications of what you say. Felton added they do have a program to educate the players on social media networking. In other football news, the state of Georgia is #1 in sending recruits to the SEC, according to MrSEC.com. 65 recruits from the state of Georgia signed with SEC schools last week. Florida came in 2nd with 46. Of the 19 UGA signees, 14 of them were from Georgia. Mr. SEC calculated that SEC schools signed 305 players from 23 different states. 21.3% of those signees came from Georgia. UGA basketball has some passionate student fans. UGA Newsource's Caleb Frady meets one fan who draws his inspiration from a classic movie.
When you think Georgia basketball, you may think of a few things: the players, passionate students, cheerleaders and dancers, the band, heartbreaking losses, and an angry Coach Fox, among other things. But when you think Georgia basketball, do you think of a guy in boxer shorts? Meet Tom Fell, journalism student by day, Rocky by night. Tom's Rocky routine started during a game his freshman year because he found the timeouts boring.
One of my friends kind of egged me on to, I guess semi-dared me to run to the top of the student section, and I did, and threw a few punches, and I guess that's how it was born.
Now, the costume that makes Tom so popular at basketball games, these boxing gloves, the wrestling shoes, and of course the Rocky shorts, all come from various places, whether found on the internet or from friends.
The shoes actually are one of my roommate's wrestling shoes. They are size 9.5. I wear a size 11.5, so they're quite a squeeze.
Tom and his rowdy crew show up well before tip-off at Stegman Coliseum. They are often in line at the doors 2 hours before the game time. Georgia will be back home this Saturday against South Carolina at 4 p.m. And they do face Auburn tomorrow night, but what was it like being that close and personal with Rocky, if you will?
A little scary, maybe a little nervous at times. They've certainly got a lot more courage, a lot more bravery than I do.
Oh, you saying you wouldn't get up there and run to the top?
I would not. Don't know if I'm in that good a shape to do that or not. Thanks for sports, Eric.
No problem.
Coming up next, learn how one UGA alum's local Athens business spices up the classic city.